All right, well, let's get another question here before we wrap things up and play a song or two on the way out. This next one, Jim, sent to CornyDriveThru@gmail.com. It does not appear. John, I guess would be the name here. I would like to hear your thoughts on the reveal that Chris Jericho came up with the idea for the Blood and Guts Parley from Pirates of the Caribbean.
What?
Reveals like this are hardly surprising for AEW at this point, but it's always a treat to hear Jim's comments on them, and I have an article that was sent to me here.
But wait, because I've not seen the movie Pirates of the Caribbean. I know it's a movie and I know it's a Disney ride. But did they have a Parley?
I haven't watched those movies either. So
I've looked Parley up in the American Heritage Dictionary to determine its meaning, but maybe it was in this movie.
Well, here's an article from the website Wrestling Inc. by Eric Mutter.
Now, wait a minute. Is that no good Mutter again?
Hello, Mutter.
Hello, Mutter. Here I am at Camp Granada.
AEW's Chris Jericho sat down with Arda Orcal of Sports Nation to talk both wrestling and hockey. In an interview that will be released next week, in a teaser you could see below, Jericho revealed the inspiration for the Parley segment seen this past week on AEW Dynamite, building up to the Blood and Guts match. Quote, "We've never heard that word before in wrestling," Jericho said of the word parlay.
Or in the English language.
I got it from Pirates of the Caribbean. I had to Google it. What is it called? I was like the real Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, boy.
Parsley? Parsnip? Parley? It's Parley. What is a Parley? That's where
Who is a Parley? Let me clarify this.
That's where you get the head of the two armies that meet before the battle to discuss the terms. You see it in Game of Thrones quite often. The two horses ride off, and they talk and ride back to their armies, and thousands of people go and kill each other.
But wait a minute, Brian. Has one of those armies previously busted into the other army's locker room and beat them all up and flushed the general's head down the toilet, and then they go have the parley? Did that part come first in Pirates of the Caribbean or wherever?
I don't believe it has, but here's a few more quotes from Jericho. Jericho noted that the idea of the segment without physicality intrigued him.
Was to get ratings for no apparent reason, just to get a rating.
So I thought, can we actually do a promo segment that actually has no physicality and no run-ins? Sure we can, Jericho said. By the way, that's the way the business was done for years. Of course you can.
The whole idea is to do those and then don't. Not do those all the time. Don't do those and then do it. Not to do those all the time and then don't.
Even Max at first was like, well, should I punch this guy? Punch this guy? No physicality. It's just right down to business. As Pat Patterson used to say, we know that we have the match next week. The match is made. There's no reason to fight until then. You just tell each other how much you're going to fight each other, how much you hate each other, and what you're going to do to each other, which builds up the anticipation and the desire to see this match. And I think we've done a great job of doing that. End quote.
And people hear stuff that smart people say, but they don't process it properly. Pat Patterson was exactly correct. If this was a big main event title match or even a tag team match, and especially if the guys involved had not basically run over each other with cars, tried to end their careers, and then humiliated the other guy by flushing his head and doing all the stuff they did to each other, and there's 10 of them. And you have all 10 guys standing in the ring with their own microphones and no authority, announcer, guy running a show, anybody to keep it non-physical. They put the cart before the horse. Can you imagine? You can see Austin and Rock having a face-to-face in the middle of the ring, prefacing their pay-per-view match without getting in a fight. I don't think you can see it the same way with the same people if Austin has hospitalized and nearly sodomized The Rock 3 weeks ago, and then you put them in the ring face to face and they're just talking. Do you see are we following a shooting with a stabbing? Are we then following murder and arson with pickpocketing and mopery?
Yeah, it shouldn't be we don't touch each other after we flush our head down the toilet. It should be we don't touch each other until I finally get my chance to try to flush your head down the toilet.
There you go. By the way, nobody ever gets charged with mopery anymore. That's a shame. That's a wonderful charge to put on somebody just to fuck with them. Also, gawking.
And by the way, I won the other day on the show. I told you, I bet you that the word Parley, that smells of Chris Jericho. And I was 100% right.
There you go.
He was at home. He was watching TV. Maybe enjoying an adult beverage or two. Saw Pirates of the Caribbean on TV and said, oh, there's a word that no one in wrestling has ever used for good reason, but no one in wrestling has ever used. I'm going to use it there.
Hey, we all used to research wonderful ideas off TV and movies. Jerry Jarrett came up with the scaffold match off that Gladiator movie, whatever. You just need to know what parts to pick and where to put them and who to put them on.